Hello, this is Mark Adams at James Lick High School. There are now two ways to create a Turnitin assignment through Canvas. One utilizes the three-dot menu over here in the upper right corner once you're inside the assignments window, and you select Turnitin. What this does is it creates a pop-up window that allows you to provide feedback through the Feedback Studio and also to access the similarity report and the grammar check. This would all happen using the Turnitin resources. Some of the drawbacks to this particular method is that missing assignments aren't recorded as missing. They're just blank in your Canvas gradebook. So it doesn't put in the default grade for a missing assignment. And then you have to manually do that. The other thing is that it doesn't put submitted work into your to-do list. So you're not really sure if students have turned in assignments, and this becomes a problem if they turn in assignments late. So the question is, what's the other method? The other method is to just create an assignment as you normally would, just by clicking here on assignment, and just attaching the plagiarism check. Everything else you're going to do within Canvas. That means if you have a rubric, you're going to use the rubric that's built into Canvas, and you're also going to get those notifications. Missing assignments will automatically be, the default grade for a missing assignment will already be applied, and anytime work is submitted, it will go to your to-do list, and that includes when you get late work. So I'm going to create an essay, and I could do the description, I have the points, I can select my category. They're going to be submitting their work online, so they do need to submit an online document or upload a Word document. And I'm going to click on File Uploads here so they can submit their work through their Google Drive. And then to access the plagiarism review, it's very simple. You just click on Turnitin Canvas Plagiarism Framework. Now the default settings will work for most teachers, and that's fine. Now it does allow for you to enable the grammar check, but I don't see that working using this method. In fact, the only thing I see that works is the plagiarism check, which is not a problem because I like this method because I want to use the internal structure and all the resources within Canvas. But I want to be able to access that plagiarism report, or the similarity report as they call it. But I do have some settings here that I can adjust, but the default settings work just fine for me. Then I scroll down, I give it a due date, and I'm going to save. And now I've created an assignment that will access the similarity report. But I can use the internal structure, I can use the tools within Canvas to do the grading. So if I want to add a rubric and grade using that rubric, I'm just going to select, a rubric. There we go. Select this rubric. And now I can grade this assignment in the Speedgrader of Canvas, not the Feedback Studio of Turnitin, using this particular method of creating a Turnitin assignment. So I could just click on these buttons. And the nice thing about this method is that I can do all my grading within the Speedgrader. I don't have to use the Feedback Studio. Now some teachers like the Feedback Studio. It's very robust, but so also is the Canvas one in my estimation. So I prefer to do everything within Canvas. And this method allows me to add the plagiarism check to that assignment. So I just created an assignment. This is an assignment that my students did. It's really just their notes. It's not an essay, but I wanted to make sure that they were turning in original work. And all I can do is I click on the Speedgrader, and the nice thing about this integration is that when I'm in the Speedgrader, I can see their assignment right here in this left side. If you're using the other method where you click on those three dots and create a Turnitin assignment through the pop-up windows, you won't see anything in the Speedgrader. You have to grade in the Feedback Studio at Turnitin. So this is very nice. If I had a rubric that was attached on this side, I would be able to grade using the rubric. Once I grade an assignment, I can leave a comment, and then I can activate this once I've left a comment. So I could reassign. That's something you couldn't do using the other method. But what about the similarity report? Well, there it is. That 0% means there is a 0% similarity. And if I click on it, it gives a pop-up window, but the only thing I'm going to see is the student's assignment and their similarity report over here. You will not see a place to put in their grade. You won't see a rubric, and you know what? You don't see the grammar check either. None of that's a problem for me. I want to use the Turnitin, the Canvas resources instead. What does it look like if a student has a high similarity report? So let me go to one. Now these are notes, and these are just incidental similarities. Had too much pride. That's something that a lot of students would have written in their notes. But I'm able to review the similarity and see where stuff is coming from. And let's see if there's another student that has a little more. Yeah, here we have a little more variation. It seems that 1% seems to come from another source, but when I look at this similarity here, this is incidental, so I can just ignore that. And here, yeah, this sentence looks like it probably was copied, maybe not. Again, even though this is a high number over here, I'm able to review the material, and I'm okay with it. This student presented original work with some incidental similarity. But all my grading is going to happen right here within the Canvas Speedgrader, and that's the advantage to this method. So to review, there really are now two different ways to create a Canvas assignment. One is to use the three-dot menu, click on the Turnitin, and then get these pop-up windows that allow you to access the full complement of Turnitin resources. And the other method is to just create an assignment within Canvas and use all of the Canvas resources, but adding the similarity report, which again, main reason that we use the similarity report often is just to see if they're plagiarizing. So that's how that resource gets used. So again, the two methods, one is fully immersed in Turnitin. It's where you click the three dots and you have Turnitin here. The other method is where you're just adding the similarity functionality to a Canvas assignment, but you're using all of the Canvas tools, including the Speedgrader, which is kind of the important detail here. Again, the advantage to this method, where you're just creating a normal Canvas assignment and adding the similarity report, is that it sends you notifications, and you can view their work in the Speedgrader, and you can use the internal Canvas rubrics. This is not to say that some teachers won't want to use the Turnitin resources, but you now have these options.